Friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Gayatri Biology. Today we will discuss about class 8 science chapter 2 microorganisms friends and foe. Means microorganism हमारे दोस्त भी हैं और हमारे दुश्मन. How? You have seen several kinds of plants, animals. However, there are other living organisms around us which we normally can't see. Means there are several kinds of plants and animals around us which we can't see by our naked eyes. These are called microorganisms or microbes. For example, you might have observed that during the rainy season, moist bread gets spoiled and its surface get covered with grayish white patches, right? Observe these patches through a magnifying glass. You will see a teeny black rounded structure. Do you know what this structure are and where do this come from? So basically, from this paragraph we can conclude that what do you mean by microorganisms? So those small living organisms which can't be seen by naked eyes and present all over around us, these are called microorganisms. For example, in the rainy season, you can see that on your bread there is a small patches is present. When you observe these patches on the microscope, so what you observe, where do come from? Microorganism, do you find tiny organism moving around? So these observation we are reading from here, these observations show that water and soil are full of tiny organisms, right? Though not all of them fall into the category of microbes, these microorganisms or microbes are so small in size that they cannot be seen with the unaided eye. Unaided eye means naked eye. You can't see microorganisms with the naked eye. Some of these, such as the fungus that grows on a bread, can be seen with a magnifying glass. Other cannot be seen without the help of the microscope. Means some fungus can be seen on the bread, but some can't be seen without the help of the microscope because they are very small or tiny structure. That is why these are called microorganisms or microbes. So microorganisms are classified into four major groups, right? How many groups microorganisms are classified? Four major groups. What are the four major groups? These groups are bacteria, fungi, protozoa and algae. Some of these common microorganisms are shown in the figure as we will see later. Okay, so what do you mean by virus? See, viruses are also microscopic but are different from the other organism. Why viruses are different from the other organism? Because they reproduce only inside the cell of the host organism, which may be a bacteria, plant or animal cell. These lines means to say that virus are also microscopic, such as bacteria or some other microorganism, but there is a difference between the virus and other microorganisms. And what is the difference? Virus can be activated when it is enter into the host organism. What do you mean by host organism? Host organism, suppose if a bacteria enter into a human body, so human body is the host for that bacteria. If a bacteria enter into the virus body, then virus body is the host of bacteria. Host means something in which the bacteria or virus can enter, right? When the virus are present outside the host, means when the virus not enter into the host organism or the human body, they present in inactive state. They are still inactive, but as they enter into the host organism, by using the host organism machinery, they will be active. That's why viruses are different from the other microorganisms, right? Common elements like, means common ailments, common disease which caused by viruses, these are cold, influenza, most cough and caused by viruses. Serious diseases like polio and chickenpox are also caused by viruses. Okay, and dysentery and malaria caused by protozoa, while typhoid and tuberculosis is the disease which is caused by bacteria. Okay, so these are the structure of bacteria and these are the structure of fungi. This is Chlamydomonas is the name of the algae, sorry, or algae, not fungi. This is Pyrogyra. This is also the example of algae. Now here the protozoa is also called also disease caused organism, right? Like amoeba and paramecium are the example of protozoa. Got it? Now there are three example of fungi like bread mold, penicillium and aspergillus. These three are the example of fungi. Now as we can see that where do microorganisms live? These are the structure of virus. So now question is here, why where do microorganisms live? Microorganism may be single celled like bacteria, some algae and protozoa, multicellular. Means here some microorganisms are unicellular, means they are made up of only single cell, just like bacteria, algae, some algae, not all algae, and protozoa, they are single celled. But some microorganisms are multicellular also, means they are made up of more than one cell. That's why this is called multicellular. For example, many algae and fungi. Microorganisms, they live in all types of environment, whether it is cold, whether it is hot, whether it is deserts, whether it is marshy lands. They are also found inside the bodies of animals including human. As we can see that there are a lot of microorganisms which are living inside the human body, right? Some microorganisms grow on other organisms while other exist free. Some microorganisms are present in all around us which are enter into the host organisms which are living in our body, and some organisms are present exist freely, right? Microorganism and us. Microorganisms play an important role in our lives. Some of them are beneficial in many ways, where some others are harmful and cause disease. Let's study about the type of the microorganisms which are beneficial for us and the type of microorganisms which are harmful for us. Let's discuss one by one. So now firstly we will discuss about friendly microorganisms, right? So microorganisms, they are used for various purposes. For example, preparation of curd, bread and cake. Lot of microorganisms are involved in the formation of curd, bread and cake. Okay, microorganisms have been used for the production of alcohol, means alcohol which is generally consumed by the people, right? This is also made by the microorganism. And the next uses of the microorganism, they are also used in the cleaning up of the environment. How microorganisms help in the cleaning the environment? For example, the organic waste like vegetable peels, remains of animals and feces, etc., they are broken down into harmless and usable substance by bacteria. Recall that bacteria are also used in the preparation of medicines, right? Bacteria is also used in the preparation of medicine, and they increase the soil fertility by fixing the nitrogen, right? Soil fertility means the power of the soils to increase or to rich in nutrients so that it is beneficial for the growing of crop, right? Now the next uses is making of curd and bread. Here Buzo want to ask that I saw that my mother added a little curd to warm milk to set curd for the next day. I wonder why. And you also see in your house that your mother added a small amount of curd to the warm milk to make further curd. Why this has happened? What's the reason behind that? Curd contain several microorganisms, right? The bacteria lactobacillus. Here to remember that lactobacillus is the name of the bacteria which promote the formation of the curd from the warm milk. Okay, it multiplies in milk and converts into curd. Bacteria are also involved in the making of cheese, pickles, and many other food items. For example, as we see various gradients like rava, suji, there are a lot of material, there are a lot of food whose basic ingredients is suji, idlis and bhatura is curd. Can you guess why? Because bacteria, lactobacillus bacteria present in the curd, right? And yeast are also helpful for the fermentation in rice, idlis and dosa batter. Because as you see, when you want to make dosa or idli, you have to just make it paste and remain it for first one day, left it, right? So that fermentation occur properly, because the growth of the bacteria and the growth of the yeast occur in that batter is perfectly, and batter will be swell up or and now we can see that in the next part, in the next page, how the fermentation take place and how the batter will swell up. Okay, see the activity 2.3. Take half kg flour, which is called maida or atta something, add some sugar in it and mix with warm water. Add a small amount of yeast powder and knead to make a soft dough. What do you observe after 2 hours? Did you find the dough rising? Yeah, of course, dough will be rising. Why? Because of the fermentation process, because of the gas release, CO2 is released in this process, which increase the volume or which help in the rising the dough. Okay, this diagram is when you make the dough, and this is the fermentation take place in the dough and raised maida, right? Yeast produces rapidly and produce carbon dioxide during respiration. Bubbles of the gas fill the dough and increase in the volume. Got it? This is the basis of the use of yeast in the baking industries for making breads, pastries and cake. Got it? Now, commercial use of the microorganism. Microorganisms are used for the large scale production of alcohol, wine, acetic acid. Acetic acid, basically, we used vinegar, right, at our home. This is nothing, this is acetic acid. Vinegar is acetic acid, right? Yeast is used for commercial production of alcohol and wine. For this purpose, yeast is grown in the natural sugar present in the grains like barley, wheat, rice, and crust, juice, etc. Now, what do you mean by fermentation? What do you mean by fermentation? Fermentation is, this is the smell of alcohol as sugar has been converted into alcohol by yeast. So the process of conversion of sugar into alcohol, this process is known as fermentation. What do you mean by fermentation? The process of conversion of sugar into alcohol is known as fermentation. Now, we have read about use of microorganism in making curd, bread, cake, and we also read about what is fermentation, and we also read about the use of the microorganism as a commercial purpose. Now we are going to discuss medicinal use of the microorganism. Whenever you fall ill, the doctor may give you some antibiotic tablets, capsules or injections such as the penicillin. Penicillin is the antibiotic, right? Penicillin is the fungus which is used as an antibiotic. The source of this medicine is microorganism. These medicine kill or stop the growth of the disease causing organism. So such medicines are called antibiotics. Now what do you mean? What do you understand by antibiotics? Antibiotics are the medicines. Which medicines? The medicine kill or stop the growth of the microorganism. These medicines are known as antibiotic. Okay, remember? These days, a number of antibiotics are being produced from the bacteria and fungi like streptomycin, tetracycline, erythromycin. These are the name of the antibiotics. You have to remember the name like streptomycin, tetracycline, this one, and this one, erythromycin. These are the example of antibiotics. Now you will read about how the penicillin is the name of the fungus, right? Penicillin is the name of the fungus which is used as antibiotics to treat many diseases. Now the question arises, how penicillin was discovered? So this is the discovery of the penicillin, this one, right? In 1929, Alexander Fleming was the name of the scientist. He was working on a lab, right, on a culture of disease causing bacteria. Suddenly he found that spores of latent green mold in one of his culture plates, right? He observed that the presence of mold prevented the growth of the bacteria. In fact, it also killed many of these bacteria. From this, the mold penicillin was prepared. Means discovery of penicillin was by chance, not intentionally discovered, right? Alexander Fleming worked in a lab on a culture of a disease causing bacteria. Suddenly he found that there is a small patches or there is a small pores of the fungus growing on it, and this fungi stop the growth of the bacteria and also kill the other bacteria. Then the mild penicillin was prepared or was discovered. Got it? Commonly known as commonly known as antibiotics, which are made from fungi and bacteria. The antibiotics are manufactured by growing specific microorganisms and are used to cure a variety of diseases. Antibiotics are even mixed with the feed of the livestock and poultry to check microbial infections in animals. They are also used to control many plant diseases, right? Now, it is important to remember that antibiotics should be taken only on the advice of the qualified doctor, right? Because they may be harmful for the person if they are taken without advice of a doctor. Also, you must complete the course of the prescribed by the doctor. If you take antibiotics when not needed or in wrong doses, it may make the drug less effective when you might need in future. Also, antibiotics taken unnecessarily may kill the beneficial bacteria in the body. So antibiotics, however, not effective against cold and flu as these are caused by the viruses, right? So antibiotics generally deal with the disease which is caused by the bacteria, but antibiotics not effective for cold, flu as these are caused by the viruses. For example, we can see that in COVID era, lot of the people suffering for the COVID-19, which is the virus, right? Which is the viral problem. So if the people took a lot of antibiotics at the time, their disease was not curable. Why? Because antibiotics are not work on the viruses diseases, right? Now, what do you mean by vaccine? When a disease carrying microbes enter our body, the body produce antibody to fight the invader. The body also remember how to fight the microbe if it enter again. If dead or weakened microbes are introduced into a healthy body, the body fight and kills the invading bacteria by producing suitable antibodies. These antibodies remain in the body and be protected from the disease causing microbes forever. This is how a vaccine works. Several diseases like cholera, tuberculosis, smallpox, hepatitis can be prevented by vaccination. Vaccine is necessary when viral problem is not treated by antibiotics, then vaccination is the another method. So now the question arises here. In this paragraph we will understand how the vaccination work. Suppose when a disease carrying microbes enter into our body, now the body produce antibody. What do you mean by antibodies? Antibodies are the antibodies generally against work against the microbes, right, and fight it. The body also remember how to fight the microbe if it enter again. Suppose if dead or weakened microorganism are introduced into healthy body, the body fights and kill the invading bacteria by producing suitable antibodies. These antibodies remain in the body. These lines can be understood by taking a suitable example. For example, in the COVID-19 era, when the COVID-19 was at the peak level, right, and everyone was suffering from the COVID-19. So after the discovery of the COVID-19 vaccine, like Covaxin basically and Covishield are the name of the vaccine which worked against COVID-19 virus, like covirus. Now, how they work? In the Covishield, when the Covishield is injected or vaccination to a person, right, which is to prevent the spread of the virus, right? So how they work? They inject a dead or weakened COVID virus. This is the COVID virus, right? This is the dead or weakened, means this not cause disease in the human body. This is the cause or weakened, weakened and dead virus, like this is a dead COVID virus. By the injection, this dead COVID virus will be enter into the injected into the healthy person, which is not suffered by the COVID-19. For example, when in your body Covishield vaccine is injected, it means a dead coronavirus, a dead weakened virus was entered into your body, right? Now you were suffering from the fever at that time. Why you suffering from the fever at that time? Because when the dead microorganism or the dead virus, dead COVID virus was entered into your body, then your body then your body produce antibodies against it, means your body produce antibodies against this virus and body try to fight it against the virus, right? That's why your body feel fever and pain in your joints, right, etc. Now your body produce antibodies produced in your body. Now these antibodies are produced against this COVID virus. When in reality, when COVID virus attack to your body, now your body already produce antibodies against it. Now you are capable to fight against this virus, so you can protect your body from this virus. That's why it is written here, introduced into a body, the body fight it and kills the invading bacteria by producing suitable antibodies, right? The antibodies remain in the body, right? And we are protected from the disease causing microbes from ever. This is how a vaccine works. Got it? Several diseases including cholera, tuberculosis, smallpox, hepatitis can be prevented by vaccination. In your childhood, you must have been given injection to protect yourself against several diseases. Can you prepare a list of this disease? You may take help from your parents. It is essential to protect all children against this disease. Necessary vaccines are available in the nearby hospitals. Of course, vaccines are available in the nearby hospitals. You might have seen the advertisement on the TV and newspaper regarding protection of the children against polio under the Pulse polio program. Polio drops given to children are actually a vaccine. Means polio is a viral disease, like, so it is treated with the vaccine. So there is a polio vaccine in a child is treated with the polio vaccine in the polio drops, right? A worldwide campaign against smallpox has finally led to the eradication from most part of the world, right? These days vaccines are made on a large scale from microorganisms to protect humans and other animals from several diseases. Now, increasing soil fertility means how the microorganism increase the soil power so that there is a lot of crop productions take place, right? So increase soil fertility. Some bacteria are able to fix the nitrogen from the atmosphere to enrich the soil with nitrogen and increase its fertility. See, nitrogen is the element which increase the soil fertility. These microbes are commonly called biological nitrogen fixers, right? What are the example of the biological nitrogen fixing? Like cyanobacteria is the most popular example, or which is known as the blue green algae also. This fix nitrogen from the atmosphere to the soil and increase the soil fertility, right? Cleaning the environment. Bujo and Paheli had observed the school gardener making manure. Along with their friends, they collected wastes of plants, vegetables, and fruits from the nearby houses and gardens. They put them in a pit meant for waste disposal. After some time, it decomposed and got converted to manure. Buzo and Paley wanted to know how this had happened. So, did you find any difference in the content of the two pots? If so, what is the difference? You will find the plant waste a pot in a pot A has been decomposed. How did this happen? The plant waste has been converted into a manure by the action of the microbes. The nutrients released in the process can caused by the plants again. Did you notice that in pot B, the polythene bags, empty glasses, bottles, and broken toys parts did not undergo any such changes? The microbes could not act on them, convert them into manure. Why? Because the microbes work on the vegetables, peels, and organic waste and converted these organic waste into a usable product or the usable manure. But microorganism can't be work on the plastic because plastic is non-degradable and can't be degraded by the microbes. That is the reason in pot B, where the polythene bags and empty glasses of the plastics were present, microorganisms not work on that. That's why microorganism could not act on them and can't be converted them into a manure. Got it? You often see large amount of dead organic matter in the form of the decaying plants and sometimes dead animals on the ground. You find that they disappear after some time. Of course, where someone will die, like some animals die on the ground or some birds die, after that, after some time, you can see that they will be disappear after some time. Then why they will be disappear? This is because the microorganisms, because these are the wastes or these are the decomposed material. On that dead material, microorganism can grow, and they can grow on this dead body and decomposed it into a organic waste. That's why they are disappear after some time, like, right? These substances are again used by other plants and animals. This microorganism can be used to degrade the harmful and the smelly substance, and thereby can clean up the environment. Got it? Now, in the next part, we will discuss about what do you mean by harmful microorganism and how they are harmful for the human body or the populations. Got it? So, if you like my video and understand the concept which I have taught you, so like, comment, and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you. Bye bye.